Now, from CBS News Miami, this is Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede.
Welcome to Facing South Florida. I'm Jim DeFede. Broward schools have gone through a tumultuous run of superintendents in the past 3 years. There have been 6 superintendents. And with the sudden and unexpected departure of Peter Licata because of health reasons, the district is hoping to find some stability in its newest selection, Howard Hepburn. A former teacher and principal in Orange County, he worked with Licata in Palm Beach when Licata was the superintendent there and followed him to Broward, where he held the position of deputy superintendent before getting promoted, and he joins us here today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
So there's a lot I want to get to, but let's talk about the larger issue of stability. Having so many superintendents over the past few years, not a great look for this for Broward schools. And obviously, we all care about what happened to Mr. Licata, Dr. Licata. It was very sad, and we wish him nothing but the best in terms of his health. But talk to me about how you sort of bring stability to the district now.
Well, first of all, I think the community, the students, the faculty and staff of Broward County Public Schools, they deserve stability. They deserve consistency. And with the challenges that they've faced in the past, it's very important that we move forward in keeping our district focused and prioritize on the right aspects that's going to continue to move the performance for our students. So the transition of me becoming deputy superintendent earlier in the year, it definitely helps us remain stable, remain consistent, and make sure that we're focused on our students.
Now, one thing I do want you to address, because the timing of things, you know, the sudden announcement by Dr. Licata that he was stepping down, and he had announced that he would stay for a while, and then suddenly the board jumped in and appointed you almost immediately. No national search, no search for other candidates. It gave the impression to a lot of people that there was a deal behind the scenes that was sort of cooked and already in place. Address that.
Well, no deal behind the scenes. I think I was shocked. I think the board was shocked, and I think our community members were shocked about learning about Dr. Licata's health situation.
So talk to me about why you think you're the best candidate or the best person to be running the school district.
Well, I think I'm the best person. First of all, I've had the opportunity to become deputy superintendent there, which has opened up the doors for me to meet a lot of community members, really immerse myself with the faculty and staff in schools, really learn the nuances of how our central office works and how we support our community and our schools. So,
you know, in the introduction, let's get to know you a little bit. You know, you started off as a teacher in Orange County and were a principal there. So let's really talk big picture. Why did you want to become an educator?
Well, it didn't always start in education. I actually went to UCF and started as a biology major and wanted to really go out and discover new things. Being an outdoorsman in Florida, growing up here in South Florida in the western parts of Palm Beach County, always outdoors, always fishing and doing all kinds of things outdoors. So when I went to college, I actually majored in biology. At the last second, through a friend of mine making this suggestion, I actually added a couple of courses, education courses, and became a teacher. So I ended up getting a biology education diploma, and then started teaching and fell in love with it. And then some people saw some leadership qualities in me and started opening up some more opportunities. So from there, became a teacher, administrative dean, assistant principal, supporting large district initiatives as an instruction superintendent, supervising principals, and the like in Palm Beach County, and working with Dr. Licata for about 5 of those 8 years in Palm Beach County. You
said you fell in love with teaching. What is it that you love about teaching?
Oh, just the students. When you have an opportunity to help students change the trajectory of themselves and also their families, is second to none. When you see the opportunities that you can create for a family and a student, that completely changes the makeup of their family and just opening up doors they think they could never ever walk through. Those are the shining lights. And right now we're going through graduation season, and having the opportunity to shake thousands of students' hands over the next couple of days, that's our why.
Do you miss the classroom?
Yes, often. I love going into classrooms. I do miss the classroom. That's where the magic happens. Our teacher does do a wonderful job in preparing our students and providing opportunities.
So let's talk about some of the challenges facing the school district. You know, I know that the student population has been decreasing. You have about 50,000 fewer students who are now attending charter schools, 50,000 fewer students who are in private schools rather. So you're losing students. What does that portend? What does that mean? You know, because obviously we also talk about a process of potentially closing some schools, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But why do you believe the district is losing students? Is it a sign that the district isn't succeeding in terms of, isn't seen as a good option for students?
Well, I think for a long time we've been, as far as large school districts or any school district in the state or in the country, we've been the only choice. And parents now have a plethora of choices. They can go to charter schools, they can go to private schools, they can exercise their autonomy by using vouchers to pretty much provide the education that they see fit for their kids.
Even homeschool.
And even homeschool.
You can get voucher to homeschool your kids
and
now.
even homeschool. So now it's an opportunity for us to actually compete, to let parents know what we offer, why we offer it, how it impacts their kids and how it impacts their community, making sure we're listening to their needs and providing more innovating opportunities to their students. So we have to compete better.
This was a conversation that I had with Dr. Okada the last time he was on, was how do you get that message out there? It seems as if the district has not been doing enough to sort of sell itself, because it was the only option in town. It was the only game in town. And so it wasn't really highlighting the things that it does better and different than charter and private schools. What's your plan to let the public know exactly what it is Broward schools offer?
We're going through our redefining initiative right now, and part of that is actually going out to the public, listening to their needs, listening to the programs that they want to see in their schools. And then the second part is also us as a district doing a better job marketing and communicating to our parents about what we offer and actually aligning those offerings to what they told us what they want to see in their schools.
Now, because you have 100,000 fewer students than you did before, you've been making cuts to teaching positions. Is that accurate?
No, not really. We have a lot of attrition. Since we're a very large school district, we have a lot of attrition with our teachers. So usually if we lose a teacher, we're gaining a teacher. And so we have so many open positions throughout the year just for the influx of gaining and losing teachers because we're so large. We usually don't have drastic cuts with teachers. So if a school does cut a teacher or a program, we usually have a home for them somewhere else.
Is there a mandate, and maybe I have this misunderstanding this, was there a mandate for every school to sort of cut their budgets?
So we've done some cost savings. We've cut budget in the central office, and we've also cut some budgets at our schools also, just to balance our budgets. But it doesn't particularly impact our instructional realm. We do have vacancies, so if a school loses a teacher, most likely they're going to get picked up at another school that already has a vacancy. Because
some schools have not seen a drop-off in attendance.
Correct.
In size. Are they receiving cuts as well? Because I'm hearing rumblings that some schools that have not lost students are losing teaching positions, and as a result, they expect larger class sizes.
No, it's all relative. So if a school is actually gaining an enrollment, they're not going to see any cuts.
All right. There was a plan that Peter Okada had put forward to close 3 schools, repurpose 9 others. The board didn't seem to like it. There was some controversy, as you would expect when you start talking about closing schools. The board has sort of taken a step back and said, given you the job of coming up with having a new process to go through that. Give us an idea of what that process is going to look like going forward about closing schools or redefining schools.
Right, so we're restarting that process. Right now that process is going to be more methodical and more engaging. We really want to engage our community members, our stakeholders, our students, our staff, our municipality leaders, our civic associations, our faith-based leaders to be a part of this new journey as we talk about redefining. And we're going to bring specific challenges that are unique to their community so we can work together and find a solution that actually increase opportunities for our students.
So one of the things that surprises me is Dade and Palm Beach have both been A-rated school districts. Broward has not been an A-rated school district since 2011. Before we get to what you're going to do about that, I think you have to understand define what the problem was. Why hasn't Broward been an A-rated school district for the past 12, 13 years?
Well, let me first say this. We have some very talented teachers and very talented administrators in our schools. They do a great job preparing our students. I think our largest gap when it comes to not becoming an A school district is our acceleration components. And for the people that's listening, that's mostly about our students who are taking college level courses at the high school level, ensuring that they have the opportunity to enroll in there and also be successful. And also at the middle school level, it's about our students taking high school courses at the middle school level, ensuring that they're enrolling in those courses and also becoming successful as they complete those courses. That's the largest gap between us and Palm Beach County and Miami-Dade when it comes to the accountability system, is that we have a gap in our acceleration component, which we're working on right now.
walk me through that acceleration component, because again, I'm a little confused by it. What exactly is the issue?
So, according to the state of Florida, there's certain, based on certain performance metrics for students, they should be enrolled in an accelerated course. In middle school, it would be a high school course. In high school, it would be a college level course, which would be ACE, AP, or IB, or dual enrollment. We haven't opened the doors to all of those students in the past, and we're doing a better job this upcoming year to ensure that we're opening up the doors, we're providing the assistance that our teachers and our leaders need to make sure those students have successful outcomes in those courses when they're enrolled.
You mentioned before that you've cut central office, which is sort of the administrative.
Correct.
That's the phrase that you use for your administrative staff, is the central office. You cut about $10 million. But one of the questions that gets asked to me sometimes is, if you have the same people in those positions for extended periods of time, should there be changes? If in other words, if the top position, the superintendent, keeps changing, but those positions under him doesn't change, how do you get different results?
Well, hopefully I'm the last superintendent that Broward County looks for a very long time. And like I said, we have some very talented individuals in our schools and also in central office, and we're realigning them into the positions that they're going to actually excel in, and making sure we're focused on our schools and the betterment of our students.
Have you figured out the politics of a school board yet?
We have a really good school board. You know,
are you sure about that? I mean, I wouldn't expect you to say anything else, but you know, it's a challenging situation to go from a deputy superintendent to the superintendent and having all those bosses up there that you've got to navigate. How are you going to deal with them, and how do you avoid getting pushed around? Well,
I think our school board members do an excellent job in representing the concerns and the needs of their constituents. Do we have dissent and debate in our school board meetings? Yes, and it's warranted. I would be concerned if we actually have a school board meeting where we're not debating or providing some dissent on issues and coming out with a groupthink mentality. I think at the end of the day, after a school board meeting, we come out with a great product or a great service to our students and our community.
All right. Last thing I just want to ask you is, last year, just before the start of school year, we had a conversation. It was the first time the Broward School Superintendent, the Dade School Superintendent sat together. We did it in Dade County at a Dade County school, and I got a lot of good feedback. I'd like to make you the same offer. You know, if we could do that at the start of this next year, if you will, we're even going to have you host us, if that's okay with you.
Yes, I'll take you up on that offer.
All right. Well, you know, Mr. Hepburn, I really appreciate your coming in, and thank you very much. And we'll talk more, and we look forward to that conversation with Jose Dotris, your counterpart. All right. Okay. When we come back, we'll talk to Congressman Jared Moskowitz. Stay with us.